Hello and welcome back to my channel and the first episode of my new Uberhood series. So today we'll be going through the scripted events for Pleasantview. I do like playing through those. I feel like it sets up a lot of the story, and while I'm sure a lot of people watching this, probably most people, already know the story of the scripted events and the characters we'll be seeing today, I will introduce them all anyway, just in case anybody doesn't. And also because the scripted events, while they are scripted, as is in the name, they obviously can go different ways. Different things may happen each time you play them, and especially as I'm playing with a risky woohoo mod, I know that there are a few woohoos that are going to happen today, and I'm very interested to see if any of them end up in babies. So for those of you who don't know, an Uberhood is basically all of the pre-made neighbourhoods rolled into one. So every single pre-made family will be in this neighbourhood. Usually they're all separated, you can play them all, but the families within each neighbourhood can't interact with families from other neighbourhoods, whereas now they can. So it can lead to some interesting relationships, some interesting pairings that you wouldn't usually be able to have in the game, which I'm quite excited to explore because I've downloaded a new mod. Well, it's not new, I don't think, but new to me, which can sort of simulate online dating a little bit, where you can summon Sims with high chemistry. The Crystal Ball mod, it's a very popular mod. I'm sure, you know, most people probably know about it already, but it was new to me, so I'm quite excited to play around with that and see what interesting pairings we can get in this Uberhood, because I have played Uberhoods before on this channel, and I was sort of resorting to grabbing Sims off the street, and it seemed a little bit strange, you know, having university age Sims making friends with grandmothers. So hopefully this will make a little bit more sense and the pairings will be a little bit more natural, and yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. So this is Pleasantview. This is going to be the main neighbourhood that we're playing with. All the others will be subhoods, so the others won't have scripted events, but Pleasantview will. And we'll be starting over here with the Lothario household. Who is Don Lothario? Is his engagement to Cassandra Goth genuine? And what about the rumour that her mother Bella was last seen scaling the deck of his condo? So this is Don Lothario. He is a romance sim, and that is his entire personality. He has no other personality. He's dating 4 women at the same time. As his household bio alluded to, he is engaged to Cassandra Goth here. He's also with twins Nina and Dina Caliente, as well as Kayla Nangarak, who is the Pleasantview maid. None of these women know that he's with others, although I think if Nina did know, she wouldn't care, although she probably would care about her twin sister. I think that's a little bit weird. And Cassandra obviously thinks they're exclusive. And while Kaylin is also two-timing, I think she thinks they're exclusive as well. So I think she would also be upset if she found out. We've already seen his household bio, but his personal bio says, so many ladies, so little time. When Don isn't thinking about dating, he's sleeping. Like I said, his entire personality is being a romance sim, being a sleazebag. And that is also what his scripted events are about. So first part of his scripted event says, Don's romantic life is really humming along. Maybe now's the time to put the moves on Nina Caliente. Pick up the phone to invite her over. There she is, Nina Caliente, and invite her over. And she's on her way. Now the next part of his scripted event is to clean up a little bit, so we're going to have him do that as well. And that's triggered the next prompt, which says, this place is a mess, use the phone to hire a maid. Now obviously this is going to be one of Don's many women coming over, but I don't think he's aware of that. I don't think he realises, like, he's just asked for a maid from an agency. He doesn't realise it's going to be Kaylin, so he doesn't think there's any issue here. Anyway, it looks like Nina is here. The next prompt says, Don wants to win Nina over, and it looks like she's slowly succumbing to his wily charms. Maybe now's the time to suggest a romantic soak in the hot tub. So let's go ahead and invite her in. I don't quite know what's going on here. Some sort of possession, I don't know. So I've actually downloaded the Prima Guide, and I'm following the Prima Guide this time. Now in the past I followed a website I found, which is basically the same as the Prima Guide, but not entirely. Interestingly, the Prima Guide suggests making drinks. Now it feels like a little bit unnecessary, but when I've played this in the past, Kaylin has never caught these two woohooing in the hot tub, and I really want her to, so I'm wondering if maybe this is what I need to do for that, is make some drinks, as the Prima Guide says, and maybe that will just delay things long enough for Kaylin to, you know, arrive and get into the house and everything. Maybe that's the issue, is that she wasn't far enough in yet. I don't know, but we'll see. So let's make some drinks. Alright, so looks like Kaylin has arrived, drinks are poured, so let's go ahead and get in the hot tub. Alrighty, these two are getting in. It's like Nina's not gonna sit next to us though. A little bit rude, but fine. So let's shimmy next to her. Alrighty, so now they are actually next to each other, which always helps. Let's woohoo. First though, I do have a risky woohoo mod. So this is the third time that I've started an Uberhood, and the Caliente sisters have never got pregnant with Don Lothario in these scripted events. They've both gotten very lucky. So I'm curious if third time's the charm. We'll see if they can still continue getting lucky. So let's make her selectable and woohoo. But before that, Kaylin wants to hang out. I think that's not a great idea, Kaylin. We're a little busy right now. Alrighty, so it looks like Nina has evaded pregnancy, which is good for her. It looks like Kaylin's also not caught them and she's left, so that's fine. I don't know how Kaylin possibly catches them. She's never caught them in any of my Uberhoods. This is my third one, and she's never caught them. So I don't know how that even is supposed to happen. I kind of want her to catch them because I don't want her to be a two-timer. I don't like the fact that she's with both Don and Daniel because she's a nice family sim. It doesn't really make sense, but that's fine. She hasn't caught them, so she's still with both of them. But for now, let's make Nina unselectable and say goodbye to her. Bye, Nina. Good job on not getting pregnant. And pretty much as soon as Nina's left, we're going to invite over her twin sister Dina. No, you can't bring over a friend, because I worry that it's going to be your twin sister, and we're not about that. Don might be, but we're not. Alrighty, here she comes. So let's go ahead and invite her in. Alrighty, so unlike the other women that Don is with, he and Dina aren't actually in love properly yet. But their relationship is above 70, so they should get there with just a tiny little nudge. So we're just going to have a little kiss. Nothing too major. There you go. That's all that it took. And now that these two are actually in love, let's have them get into the hot tub. Alrighty, so same as her sister, we're going to make Dina selectable so that there is a chance of a risky pregnancy, and we're going to woohoo with her. And it looks like she also has evaded pregnancy. Wow. 3 for 3, neither of them getting pregnant. That's pretty impressive. Well done to the Caliente sisters for using protection. And yeah, that is it for the Lothario household. He's managed to get his way completely, not get anybody pregnant, not lose any relationships. That may change in the next household though. So the next household is the Goth household. Cassandra is ready to start a family of her own, but can she tame the town Casanova? And can Mortimer bounce back after the disappearance of his wife Bella? So the main focus of this household is Cassandra here, who is engaged to Don, and it is their wedding day. Cassandra is a family sim, which clearly isn't a very good match for Don's romance self. You know, her wants are largely around him, although she does have a want to talk to Darren. She wants to have a baby, so she's very much got commitment and a perfect little nuclear family on the brain. Her personal bio says Cassandra is a quiet, mysterious type. Nobody ever knows quite what she's thinking, which is funny because I don't really see her that way. I feel like I see her as a bit more obvious and naive. We have her father here, Mortimer. Now, Mortimer is a knowledge sim and was previously a mad scientist. He is engaged to Dina Caliente, and he is still in love with his previous wife Bella Goth, which I'll talk more about in just a second. Clearly he's completely unaware that Dina is also cheating with Don, but bearing in mind he's got a want to flirt with her sister, I don't know that he can really complain that much. His personal bio says cheerful and outgoing, Mortimer brings his old country upbringing into the modern age. He has an unusual fondness for insects. And finally we have Cassandra's little brother Alexander, who is just taking in the summer air. His bio says as a child of older parents, Alexander often wonders if he missed out on anything. His hobbies include optometry and number theory. For some reason I can't get out of my head, whenever I look at Alexander Goth, I think of Klaus Baudelaire from A Series of Unfortunate Events. There is one member of this family missing. As it was alluded to in the family bio, Bella Goth, Cassandra and Alexander's mother, according to the official game lore, is missing. However, I'm playing with clean templates, so she is alive and well in these templates, and playable if I want her to be. Now quite often, so I've played 2 Uberhoods before, or started 2 Uberhoods before, and both times I've killed her because I've gone, you know what, the official lore is that she's missing, so let's just get rid of her. But actually I think it could be quite interesting to play her this time, so I'm going to put down the sim blender and bring her over here. So here is Bella. The story I've decided to go with this time, because Mortimer is still in love with her but they're not married even though they were previously, and I do want to keep Mortimer with Dina. I want to clear the way for those two. The story I've gone with this time isn't quite as dramatic or exciting acting as her being killed in like some murder mystery or whatever. It is simply that they got divorced. I think while there was no alien abduction, because I don't like playing with the supernaturals, so I suppose forewarning going forward, the supernatural sims, aliens, plant sims or whatever, I'm going to humanize them. There'll be no alien pregnancies. That's not happening in this game, so there was no alien abduction. However, Bella and Mortimer are clearly quite well to do in society. They have certain reputations as being rich and powerful, but also very like upper class, having a certain front, I suppose. So while there was no alien abduction, the rumours of Bella being on Don Lothario's balcony are still true. Don did want to get with Bella. He obviously wants to get with everybody. He's fulfilled his twin fantasy, so he wanted to fulfill his mother-daughter fantasy. And so there were rumours swirling around that Bella was at Don's. He made a move on her and she rejected him, but that didn't stop the rumours. The rumours were that they were having an affair, you know, who knows what's going on. Now, Bella is actually a romance sim, and even though she didn't cheat with Don, I guess Mortimer knows that maybe in her earlier days she was a little bit more wild, she was a little bit more likely to do something like that, and so Mortimer, it got under his skin and he started to believe the rumours and put an end to the relationship. Probably helped that Mortimer wanted to also trade her in for a younger model because he's gone after Dina Caliente, so, you know, that was a sweetener for him as well. So Bella is heartbroken because even though she does have romance sim tendencies, she has been faithful this whole time and she did reject Don, and so obviously she's heartbroken that her husband of many years chose to not believe her and also then chose to get with somebody who's only a year older than their daughter. But I think it could be quite fun to play her as her true romance self. I'm going to move her out of this household when this wedding is done, whatever the outcome of the wedding ends up being, and into her own place and see what happens. You know, she's already got wants to woohoo and flirt, and like I said, she is still in love with Mortimer. They are still in love with each other, so it's possible that even though Mortimer is moving on to Dina, that these two end up having an affair because they just can't stay away from each other. I did think, because obviously with this story that Bella actually knows that Don made a move on her, there does feel like an obvious thing of why is Bella not telling Cassandra? You know, why is she not putting a stop to this wedding? I think Bella wants Cassandra to be happy and genuinely wants to believe that Don is going to make her happy. So she's keeping it to herself. She still has this sort of mentality of the less you say, the better. You know, family shouldn't speak. Some things are better left unsaid. Some secrets are better kept and taken to the grave. And she's just hoping that Don treats Cassandra right because she wants Cassandra to be happy. She's just hoping that it was a moment of madness and she doesn't realise that Don is with half the village. So she's just hoping. So Cassandra obviously had heard these rumours that her dad heard, and she's probably a little bit annoyed that her dad believed them, but Cassandra doesn't believe them at all because her darling Don would never ever do anything like that, nor would her darling mother. So Cassandra is just completely oblivious. She doesn't believe the rumours whatsoever, even though Mortimer did. So that's what I think has happened there. As for this wedding, the first scripted event pop-up says Cassandra is smitten with Don and wants to get hitched. Perhaps an affectionate gesture will put the relationship on strong footing. So we are going to give him a little kiss, but only one and only a little one, because I like when this could go either way. If I don't do anything, he definitely jilts her. If I do too much, he definitely marries her. But I found if I just do one, you know, like I've played two Uberhoods before. The first one they got married, the second one they didn't. I hope they don't. I don't like it when they get married, so I'm hoping that he does jilt her, even though it's going to break her heart. I think long term it'll be for the best. But I just want to put a little bit of spice into it, I guess, that it could go either way. So we're going to give him one little kiss and then see what happens. There they go. Ooh, fireworks, that was quite a kiss. Cassandra better strike while the iron is hot and get married. Click on the wedding arch to get the ceremony started. Probably not promising that Don, immediately after kissing Cassandra, is now looking towards Bella. She's already turned you down, Don. You've got 4 women already. You know, maybe don't add a 5th. Although that is a possibility. If he does jilt her, maybe they would... You know what? Don't get ahead of yourself. So let's go ahead and get them married, or try to, and see what happens.
Frogi Jahano. Lapso Nibre. Steep flow. Steep flow, Shuvi. Sablo Fam.
Thank goodness he left her. I mean, I probably shouldn't be saying that. She's About to have a breakdown. Mortimer and Alexander didn't even come over and watch, but it's alright because Bella's here. And Bella's probably thinking, you know what, maybe I should have told Cassandra what happened. You know, she is a loving mother. She gets on really well with Cassandra. She has chemistry with Don, that's not good. I still don't think she's going to tell her. I think that she's just going to comfort her, and I think she's probably going to take that secret to her grave, because Cassandra doesn't need to know that Don made a move on her. She just needs help to nurse her heartbreak. But Bella is probably feeling kind of guilty that she didn't say something, because she's probably thinking, you know what, maybe I could have stopped this. And Cassandra, she will get over it though. You know, she has plenty of options. I mean, the only one she knows currently is Darren. He's obviously the most obvious one. But I am excited with Cassandra. If she does continue to roll wants for, you know, babies and love and all of that, like a family sim quite often does, I am quite excited to use my new mod, or new to me mod, to find us somebody with good chemistry across the whole Uberhood. So there are plenty of other fish in the sea, Cassandra. While Cassandra goes to have her mental breakdown, let's find a newspaper and move Bella out. Bella, I just said how you were going to be a loving mother and you're just making fun of your daughter's mental breakdown. That's not particularly loving and non-judgmental of you. Alrighty, we're going to move Bella out on her own. We'll leave Cassandra and Alex here in the Goth mansion. Not that she wouldn't love to take them with her, but I think she's going to move into like a little one-bed apartment. I think Cassandra and Alex, I mean especially Cassandra, obviously she's old enough to make her own decisions, but I think they just decided between them, her and Mortimer, that it's better if they stay in the Goth mansion because there's more room. They're going to have a better life here in terms of like things financially, and off she goes. So Bella has brought with her over 100,000. I have had a little look at the houses, and these two, whilst they are bigger and more expensive, they're more like traditional family homes. I think that Bella's vibe to me makes me want to put her over here more, so I'm going to put her over here in this one. You know, she can definitely afford more, but this is just, you know, a modern little one-bed place. I think that's all her romance self is going to need, just because I looked at every other available home in this area and none of the rooms are big enough for double beds. So this is like, I think this is the cheapest one, or it's certainly close to if it's not, but it's the only one that's big enough for a double bed. So I'm going to go ahead and furnish it. She's got plenty of money to furnish it with. She, like I said, she definitely could afford something more, but I think this is good enough for her. Alrighty, so I've decorated Bella's new home. Spoiler alert, I'm not a builder or a decorator, so I'm not saying it's good necessarily, but I tried. I went for a more modern vibe. I did think about doing a more gothic vibe, but I feel like the goth stuff mostly comes from Mortimer and his extended family. I feel like Bella, her taste is maybe a bit more modern than goth, so maybe now that she's on her own, she can fully lean into that. I'm just toying with changing that kitchen to something more wooden. I think that might be better. It feels like it stands out a little bit less from the rest of the house now. I also realised I'd forgotten to put a sink in. But yeah, so this is a downstairs. So she's got a big kitchen dining area, little study area. I've changed the bathroom as well. And then upstairs I've got a bedroom and a little sitting area because she doesn't really have room for that downstairs, and I didn't want to make the dining room too small to make up for it, especially when she's got this massive upstairs area, at least massive for a bedroom anyway. And yeah, like I said, I was going a bit more modern. I thought maybe that would be more her vibe, or maybe it's just my vibe. I don't know. Either way, this is Bella's place to live her single romance sim life, and I'm quite excited to get in and play her in a few episodes time, because I've never played with Bella Goth before, because up until the first time I did an Uberhood a couple of years ago, I'd never played with clean templates, so she was never alive, and then the 2 Uberhoods I've done, I killed her. So this is going to be my first time playing with Bella, and I'm quite excited to see what happens. So the next household is the Caliente household. Was it just coincidence that the Caliente sisters arrived on the eve of Bella's disappearance? And is their interest in Mortimer physical or fiscal? So here we have Nina and Dina Caliente. We've obviously already met them at Don's house. Nina is a romance sim, but despite that, she is exclusive to Don at the moment, although I don't think she would particularly mind if she found out Don was with other women, although I think she might draw the line at her sister. That is a little bit weird, but I don't think she's the jealous type, basically. So down the line, she may or may not remain exclusive to Don. She may date around a little bit. Dina is obviously also with Don, but she is with Mortimer Goth as well, and he is who she is, quote unquote, very loosely exclusive to. Bearing in mind he is still in love with his ex-wife Bella, and Dina is obviously cheating with Don. Exclusive is an extremely loose term. Dina is a fortune sim, and so her interest in Mortimer is probably because he's rich, although she did used to date Bella's brother Michael. I don't know if she was married to him or not. Yeah, she was married to Michael, so she was married to Bella's brother, because the Bachelors also have quite a lot of money, Bella and Michael Bachelor, but there is also an argument to be made that she is just into the old men as well. So in answer to the question in their bio, it could be physical and fiscal. So the scripted event here says, Dina Caliente is digging for gold and she wants to lay a claim on Mortimer. Don't wait for him to make the big move, be aggressive. Now, as it happens, I believe Mortimer is walking by. There he is. So we're going to go ahead and greet him. It is going to be a pretty short and sweet visit to the Calientes this time around. It will mostly just be getting Dina and Mortimer married, and as Cassandra and Don did not get married, I'm going to have Dina move into the Goth household with Mortimer and Alex and Cassandra and leave Nina here. So first of all, we need to propose engagement. Why Mortimer hasn't done it already, I don't know. Maybe it's not been that long since his divorce to Bella, so maybe he's wanting to take it a bit slower. Maybe he's still in two minds, but Dina's gonna pounce and sort of put him under that pressure a little bit so that he can't really say no. And of course she's gonna do it in her swimwear just to make sure that seals the deal. Let's go ahead and get them engaged.
Nabnor, Ramet tablet, kin, from a bloody.
Oh, my God! Oh, Malita! Oh, Solaya! Oh, my
from a lad.
So we said yes, as expected. So in my previous Uberhood, I didn't generally do weddings and parties and stuff because I was worried it would get a bit samey, but then I realised that not doing it is also a bit samey. So this time around I will be doing weddings and parties. However, just for this first scripted event, I'm not going to, because we're sort of whizzing through them. So I don't really want to do the whole big party, going out to a community lot, all of that stuff. So we will just get them married here on the spot. No fuss, but then to be honest, Dina probably doesn't want a fuss. She just wants to lock it down before Mortimer kicks the bucket. That is the main goal for her. So we'll bring him alone because we are going to move them out as soon as they're married. And Gilbert is coming to be a witness to the wedding since Nina's still upstairs. And we will give Dina the Goth name because of course she'd want that. She is in it for the money, but she might as well get the social status as well. So Mortimer has brought 40,000 with him. And yeah, the next scripted event prompt says 2's company but 3's a crowd, so it's time for Nina to get moving. Use newspaper to move a sim out. We are going to leave Nina here and we're going to leave her some of the Goth fortune as well. I have a mod that splits the household funds when sims move out so that it's not just a base 20,000. So she'll probably get, I guess, a third of it, so she'll get more than 10,000. And Nina can stay in this apartment here on her own with a little bit of the Goth money. So let's get Dina and Mortimer moved out. And yeah, like I said, I'm going to put them back in the Goth mansion. I think Dina, even though she's not particularly Gothic, she does want to live that rich lifestyle with the money, with the items, and Cassandra and Alex will just be there. If Cassandra and Don had got married, I don't think I would have done it this way because it would have been too risky having Don and Dina in the same house, but as they didn't get married, it's absolutely fine. So we'll take Mortimer with us and be on our way. So let's go ahead and move these two back into the Goth mansion and move on to the Broke household. Brandy was left to raise 2 boys alone following her husband's suspicious pool ladder accident. With Dustin acting out, can Brandy teach young Beau to make the right choices in life? So this is a Broke household. We have Brandy here, who is the mother of 2, nearly 3 children. She is expecting, as you can see. She wouldn't usually be showing when you load this household, but I do have an 18-hour pregnancy mod so that pregnancy makes a bit more sense with my 1 day to 1 year aging system. So she will give birth very soon, even though she doesn't really look that pregnant yet. Her pregnancy is going to speed run in a minute. Brandy is a family sim. Her bio says, friendly by nature, Brandy has often been accused of being overly so. She enjoys grape juice and crumpling tinfoil. Now, somebody on the Sims 2 subreddit a while back ruined my innocence of this because I just assumed that she enjoys grape juice and crumpling tinfoil like as a sensory thing. I thought this bio was implying that Brandy is really boring, but apparently it's implying that she drinks a lot and takes drugs. And apparently her bedroom being a lot more expensive and extravagant than the rest of the house is just a little bit cheap. Apparently that's insinuating that she's a sex worker. None of this sunk into me. It all went way over my head, but apparently that's what Brandy is implied to be. I'm not going to play her like that. I am just going to play her as an unemployed mother, but I did think that was interesting because I'd always interpreted Brandy as being a little bit boring, almost to a point of naivety, but apparently she's actually got quite an interesting life. But like I said, I don't have any drugs mods or sex work mods or anything like that, so I'm not going to be playing through that storyline. But just in case anybody else didn't get that memo, there's your perception of Brandy ruined as well. As I said, she's a mother of 2, nearly 3, so her oldest son here, Dustin, Dustin, is a teenager and a fortune sim. He's dating Angela Pleasant, which we'll meet later in the episode. It's kind of an opposites attract situation, because she is a bit of a goody two-shoes. His bio says, Dustin's rebellious nature gets him in trouble, but deep down he wishes people would tell him what to do. He works in the criminal career, and he's not getting the best grades, although to be fair, I think a C is perfectly reasonable, but I think that I get the impression that an American C is different to a British C, but I don't know. To me, that's just perfectly average. But yeah, he's a street hawker in the criminal career. So he is a little bit of a troubled teen, but he's also doing his best to support the family, which doesn't have very much money. And I especially won't when this baby is born, because I need to buy a crib and everything, and his little brother will be aging up soon. His little brother being Beau down here. Now, Beau is clearly just a little toddler. His bio says, Beau finds it hard to escape his genetic destiny, but maybe with his mother's help he can beat the odds. So let's get a little bit of a better look at him. So yeah, Beau, he's quite a smart toddler, I think. I'm pretty sure his predestined aspiration is meant to be knowledge or something. Obviously, Dustin is struggling a little bit in trying to support the family with a life of crime, so I suppose the hope of this family is to try and make sure Beau doesn't go down the same path, try and make sure that he actually makes something of his life and doesn't feel that kind of pressure. Although I do find it a little bit sad, because then that sort of implies that Dustin's a lost cause, and I don't think that's true either. So Brandy's just having her second pregnancy pop, and the first pop-up for the scripted event has come up. So it says, Beau Broke is growing fast and Brandy wants to teach him all the skills he needs to stay out of trouble. Click on Beau to teach him to walk and fulfill wants for both Sims. I've also just realised I didn't actually explain how Brandy is a single mum and pregnant. So Dustin and Beau's dad, Skip, is the father of Brandy's third child as well. So he only recently died. It mentioned in the household bio about him dying in a mysterious pool ladder accident. So that's the situation with that. Just completely forgot to mention it, but yeah, this is going to be Skip's baby, and because I'm playing with clean templates, it will genetically be Brandy and Skip's baby, as opposed to in the normal game where it's just a clone of Brandy. So this baby will be genetically tied to Skip, and it could also be a boy or a girl, so I'm quite excited to see which it's going to be. I had a girl last time I played, so I'm actually kind of hoping for a boy, because that is like the canon anyway. You know, in the unmodded game it will always be a boy, so it just feels more natural for it to be a boy, so that's what I'm hoping for. Anyway, let's go ahead and teach Beau to walk, as the scripted event says. Don't know how long it'll take them. I don't know if we'll get this done before Brandy gives birth or not. Looks like they're almost done. Oh, it looks like they are done. Okay, so now that we're done with that, we'll potty train him, see if we can get that toddler skill in as well. I don't know how far he is with that, but we can see. He's got quite a ways to go with that, but we can probably get it done. I don't think he grows up until tomorrow. We can definitely give it a go. Oh, alright, so it looks like it is time for Brandy to have her baby. I went ahead and bought a crib, so new baby has a new crib. And yeah, let's see what she has. Hopefully a baby.
Oh, it's a cab flown nabbin. Huh? What, Sibley? Crème tige.
So it's a girl again. So I've got a list of names. I'm going to be just running through those names. It's popular names from the year 2000 in the UK, and number 1 is Chloe. So this is going to be Little Chloe Broke. And it looks like, weirdly enough, you know, I told myself that it would be okay to restart my Uberhood, because even in the scripted events, different things may happen. So far, it has been identical, right to the point of Brandy having a baby girl that looks like she's got the same genetics as the other one, where she's got blonde hair and grey eyes. Admittedly, I can't remember if the last one had grey eyes or blue eyes, but I know she was definitely blonde. And then I've gone and given her the same name, so that one was on me. I could have done that differently, but it doesn't matter, it's fine. But we've got another little girl in the Broke household. Or well, in this save, the first little girl. Looks like Brandy's immediately going to put her on the floor, but that's because she's cleaning out the potty, which I did tell her to do. So Brandy's going to go clean out the potty, and then we're going to see if I can spam Beau onto the potty. See if we can just get him to artificially raise it up. I've got no idea if he'll stay on the potty, given that he's just been, but we'll give it a go. Yeah, so he was on there for a second. It's better than nothing, isn't it? So I think that's what I might do, is try and get it done quickly by just spamming it. Alright, so it's midday, so I'm going to put Beau and Chloe down for a little nap. I've got no idea if Beau has made any progress on his potty skill, but what I do know is he's not going to wet himself while he's in bed. I feel pretty confident of that. He has squeezed out every last drop possible. He's got nothing left to give, so we're going to go and let him refill his bladder in bed and give it another go when he wakes up. So I forgot to mention it earlier amid all of the Beau focus, but Dustin did go to school earlier and he is now back. And he's brought home his girlfriend Angela. His grades are the same, but Brandy is going to come and lecture him anyway. I never understood why, because to me a C is a perfectly good grade. Like I said, I do wonder if a C is different in America to the UK. I don't know. You know, I wouldn't be upset if my kid, I mean I don't have kids, but if I did I wouldn't be upset if they got a C. So that's clearly damaged their relationship a little bit. It's a little bit sad because actually Dustin's he does want to go to college and he does want to get into private school, so it's like he does seem somewhat academically focused, just perhaps not as much as his mum would like him to be. I think Brandy feels quite a lot of pressure. I mean obviously I imagine all single mums probably do to a certain extent, but her husband obviously died relatively recently. It must have been in the last 9 months or so. She's probably still dealing with a bit of grief as well. She's dealing with kids who are also grieving, trying to raise them on her own. She's obviously been very recently pregnant. She's just given birth, so now she's got a newborn, and it probably hurts her quite a lot to see Dustin going down a potentially criminal route, because she probably would do anything to prevent that. So, you know, she's probably extra hard on him about his grades because she knows he can do better. He's not thick. He is a smart kid. She just doesn't want to see him throw his life away. So she's being extra hard on him. But as far as Dustin's concerned, she's being a nag, and his good friend Gordon, who as you can tell by the outfit is a thief, doesn't treat him like that. So, you know, that's how these like criminal gangs get their teeth into vulnerable teenagers, isn't it? Is they just go, oh, you know, your mum's such a nag and I'd never do that to you. So I imagine that's probably what Gordon is doing to Dustin. It's just manipulating him and trying to make out that he's got his best intentions at heart and his family doesn't. So it's a bit sad, but hopefully, you know, these wants to go to private school and go to college do indicate that he can get out of it. And yeah, I suppose we'll just have to see what he ends up doing when we come to play this family proper. For now though, Angela's in here playing pinball. So Angela is one of the Pleasant family who we'll go and meet more later on. She and Dustin, they do have a little bit of chemistry and they are very much in love. They're going steady. What they haven't done yet though is have their first kiss. So we're going to go ahead and have them do that. Dustin wants a bit of a shoulder to cry on after getting a bollocking from his mum. And he's going to cry on Angela's shoulder. Or on her lips, I guess. Interestingly, I'm just looking at the Prima guide that I've downloaded for this. And it says that kissing Angela is going to fulfill a big want for Dustin. But he doesn't have any wants for that. I mean, I'm going to do it anyway. But I just thought that was interesting. He fears being rejected for it. So I suppose he kind of wants it. Maybe he's a bit nervous. But yeah, we're going to go for it anyway. But he's not going to get the aspiration benefit, which is a bit of a shame, but that's fine. A little bit awkward with Brandy there in the background, but that's fine. It looks like they're about to fall in love from that as well, from these little love hearts above their heads. I didn't realise that they weren't already in love, but I guess they are proper in love now. So let's say goodbye to Angela. She's only just got here, but that's fine. She can leave. And it also looks like Beau is awake, so I don't know that he's had the best sleep. It sounds more like Chloe woke him up because she looks a bit stinky. We're going to calm and potty train him some more. He doesn't really need it, but you know, hopefully he'll stay on the potty a little bit longer than he had been. Oh, Dustin's already potty trained, so he's just helping himself, but we're just going to ignore. It's a close family. We don't need to, you know, have any privacy or anything. Not important. So let's actually have a look at how good his bar is, because I haven't really been paying attention to it. That definitely looks higher. That definitely looks like it's much better than it was. So let's just keep going, spamming it, see if we can get it done today, but if not, tomorrow's good enough. Oh, look at Dustin being a cute big brother. It'd be really helpful if you changed to Dustin. Oh, Beau's not having it. Okay. He's done. Fair enough. Give him a little break because, yeah, he's done with it. I think we squeezed about as much as we could out. Oh, he's bored. It's fine. He can come and play with his little xylophone if he wants to. Or his brother. See, Dustin is a good brother. He is a good kid. Yeah, hopefully he can get off the wrong path. See, look how cute that is. Oh, how sweet. Alright, so the 6 o'clock pop-ups have, well, popped up. Just ignore Brandy over there. I moved away from her because she looks a little bit terrifying, but that's fine. We've got one about Dustin going to college. Don't need to worry about that today, but Beau's going to go up tomorrow. Now, I could grow him up early. He's not done with potty training. Oh, he's really tired. That's probably why. He'll probably finish potty training tomorrow. I think I'm going to leave it until 6 p.m. I don't think I'm going to bother with a party or anything either because I don't really have any family, and obviously Beau's too young to really have any friends. I mean, he only knows his family. family. So I think they'll just have a little family party between the three of them and allow him to sort of grow up without intervention at 6 o'clock tomorrow. Oh, bless him, he's fallen asleep on the floor. Well, I guess we'll leave him to it. Or has he fallen asleep? I'm not sure what to make of that, but okay. All right, let's get everybody fed, including Bo, and carry on with his potty training tomorrow. I have to say, I don't really understand, because in the Prima guide, it suggests aging him up to date because his aspiration's platinum because he's been potty trained or whatever. I don't feel like I could have done any more potty training. I was forcing him to go and he did not want to. Although maybe that was part of the issue. I don't know. Yeah, I don't see a world in which he would have been done with that by 6 p.m. So we'll carry on tomorrow and hopefully finish it tomorrow. So the phone is ringing. I've got a feeling that this is Dustin's call from Angela because it is scripted that he's supposed to sneak out with her tonight. However, he's doing his homework and he's actually still in a pretty good mood, so he's probably going to finish it all the way, so he might miss that phone call. So we might actually miss that part of the scripted event, which is fine because we want Dustin to get on the straight and narrow anyway, right? So, you know, it's okay if he doesn't go out with Angela, but we'll see if he actually makes that phone call or not. Oh, it sounds like it stopped. I think that means he's missed it. It's pretty interesting because to Dustin, he's obviously none the wiser. Oh, and Brandy likes cuisine. I think I knew that, but that's fine. Yeah, Dustin's none the wiser that anything would ever have been different. But I know, and we know, that in an alternate universe, he got arrested. But not in this one. In this one, he's being a good boy and behaving himself. So we're just going to have Brandy and Dustin have their tea and let little Bo sleep on the bathroom floor. And apparently Brandy sleep in her salad. Everybody's tired today. Dustin, I don't think she can hear you. Alrighty, let's have everybody get to bed and let's actually put Bo in a crib. It's not necessarily his crib, but I don't think it really matters. They're the same crib. And Dustin can go to bed and actually sleep through the night as he's not going out with Angela today. Alrighty, Brandy is waking up. Bo's bladder is terrible and Dustin is in the toilet right now, but we'll see if we can get him on the potty in time. Are we gonna make it? Oh no, we didn't. Okay, that's fine. He's not having it, that's fine. He's already been. We'll change his nappy and try again. So just getting everybody fed. Dustin is on his way to school. Everything takes so much longer than I planned for it to, but that is fine. All right, babies are fed. Clean up is cute. Let's have Brandy make some breakfast for herself. We'll just make an omelette, and then as soon as she's had that, we can get back to potty training. Oh no, bills are on the way, so we'll have to pay those as well. Oh, Brandy. Nice. I mean, this is a good chance to show off one of the new mods I downloaded. Piss puddles are now yellow. She's done it in front of 2 people. But it's okay because her hygiene was terrible anyway. And she's done it outside, so it's like it could be worse. She could have something to clean up, so it's fine. Although maybe she's not the best qualified person to be teaching Bo where to pee when she can't even manage it herself. Alright, so it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Bo needs to go down for a nap. He hasn't even gone on the potty yet. Brandy is just sitting down for her breakfast, which is now chili con carne because by the time we got to it, it was so late. It was lunch. Dustin is home. Dustin's had a full day at school and is home before Brandy's really started her day. Is this what it's like being a single parent? I had a pop-up saying that Dustin does have work today, so he's only going to be home for about an hour before he goes off to a street hawker job. So yeah, he's going to go off and earn some money, which is all he needed. Brandy still hasn't got around to paying the bills. The only thing she's really got around to is feeding everybody and tidying up, but by the time she's done sorting everything else out, they're going to need feeding again, I'm sure. So we'll let her finish her food, see if we can get Bo on the potty just once before he goes down for a nap. Chloe's already crying in the background. I don't know what she wants, but she's unhappy about something or another. You know, it is definitely possible that we may not potty train Bo before his birthday tonight. I've tried so hard, I don't know how it's possible. It just feels like he's destined to go to school in nappies. Alright, we've managed to get Bo down for a little bit of a sleep. We're going to wake him up now. Oh, it's probably too late, but we'll give it a go. See what happens. And it's too late. I had the worst timing. It's 5 p.m. He's got 1 hour until he ages up. We're not going to get him potty trained. I don't know how it's possible. I certainly don't know how it's possible for 6 p.m. on Monday, but I can't even make 6 p.m. on Tuesday. I'm also assuming he's not going to accept it. No, he's not. Well, I give up. You win, Bo. We're not going to make you learn to use the toilet. Just go wherever you want for the rest of your life. I don't care anymore. You win. Alrighty, it's 6 p.m. Bo is about to grow up. It also looks like Chloe's birthday is tomorrow, so we'll play that when we next come back to this household. Before Bo grows up though, I need to rearrange this room so that we can hopefully get a bed for him and squeeze him in somehow. I think that'll do. Everything's in there. It's a bit of a tight squeeze. I'm not sure how functional this pinball machine will be, but I'll give it a play test shortly and make sure everything is accessible. But it should be fine. Alright, and Dustin is home from work as well. Brandy's just going to go check out the new things. And it should be time for Bo to grow up. Here he goes. So it says, Bo has grown into a child. As a toddler, Bo achieved the aspiration level of little wonder. That's pretty good. With a little hard work, life could get even better. How much harder did you want me to work, Bo? I tried my best. It doesn't help if you don't get on the frickin' potty. So that's that. So I'm actually going to give Bo a quick little makeover. There we go. So I've changed him into something a little bit more like what he was wearing as a toddler, just because I like to be consistent, and I think it looks very cute, quite smart. So that is it for the Broke family. Bit of a chaotic one. I look forward to coming back to them, but I am glad to get a break because that was a bit much. Next up, onto the Dreamer household. So Darren is pursuing his dream of being an artist while his son Dirk hits the books, and Darren may have found his muse, but will his creativity be enough to win Cassandra's affection? So the Dreamers consist of these two Sims here, Dad Darren and son Dirk. Dirk's mother Darlene passed away. I believe that the story is that she died in a fire, I think when Darren was at work, and you can see in his memories he quit his job shortly after she died. He did work in the business career, so I think he felt quite a lot of guilt over prioritising work over his family potentially, and he's a knowledge sim and he's got a very high creativity skill. He is an artist. After he quit his job, he started trying to make money selling paintings instead, and that's what their scripted event is largely around. His bio says, Darren has missed his wife ever since her death. Will he ever get another chance at love? He does have a crush. Oh, he has more than a crush on Cassandra. He's in love with Cassandra. So now that she and Don aren't getting married, there's always a possibility that something will happen between these two. I didn't realise he was full on in love with her. So that's not going to be this episode, but that's always a possibility for the future. As for Dirk, he is a fortune sim and an A- student. His bio says, though it's been hard without his mother, Dirk has made every effort to do well in all areas of his life. It's really interesting with Dirk and Dustin because they've had very similar stories in the sense of, I mean, neither of them are particularly well off, although I would say this is a pretty nice house, and while I know they don't have a whole lot of money, I would still say these lot are doing a lot better than the Brokes. But obviously him and Dustin have both lost parents young. They've gone down very different paths despite actually being kind of similar people. They have the same aspiration, they're both fortune aspirations, but Dustin's obviously going down the criminal route and Dirk is going down the more studious route. So the first scripted event for this household, it says, Darren Dreamer wants to paint for a living, but does he have the skills to pay the bills? Those past due statements are starting to pile up. And as you can see, we've got some bills on the floor here. There's some bills on the floor here as well. I don't know why he's just tossing them on the floor instead of putting them on the desk or something, but that's fine. So as I said, after quitting his job, he is now a painter, but he just doesn't make too much money at the moment, but we're going to make him a full-time painter and make that his new career and hope that he makes a few masterpieces in there and is able to support himself and Dirk doing that. So let's get started on a new painting. Oh yeah, okay, so we just had the bills reminder, 844. So we can actually already pay that, so I don't know why there's this whole scripted event about, you know, having to desperately paint something to make the bills when we can already afford them. And unsurprisingly, arts and crafts is Darren's favourite activity. I probably amended that because I amended some of their favourite hobbies to fit their personalities more and their interests. So this family is usually the quickest one to watch, I suppose, in the scripted events. It's not necessarily the quickest one to play because it tends to be more than a day, but in terms of making a video and editing, I'm like, this is most of it is just him painting, and I do enjoy playing it, don't get me wrong. I enjoy almost every aspect of this game, but in terms of making a video, I'm like, I mean, it's a bit like watching paint dry, isn't it? So I'm not gonna sit here and make you watch all of this. We will come back when he's finished, I suppose, unless something else happens in the meantime. Alright, so it looks like he is done, so let's go ahead and sell that. 85, not bad. And then the next prompt says, still haven't found your artistic voice? Try painting a still life or a portrait of a family member to add a personal touch to your artwork. Now, I don't really want to interrupt Dirk. He's not doing anything important, but he's playing darts, and I imagine it will just be a bit annoying getting him up here. So we're just going to paint a still life of one of these things. I think we'll do the flowers. I think that might be good for that. Let's choose that as a subject and then get to work. Oh, okay, so I guess doing that, Darren has got enough enthusiasm to subscribe to the Arts and Crafts magazine, so I'm going to say yes. Why not? And now he'll have something new to read once a week. So while Darren's up there painting, Dirk is just down here chatting to somebody online. Looks like it's one of the university students. I'm going to really try this time around to make relationships happen more authentically, like friendships and relationships, because when I've played Uberhoods before, I've quite often just grabbed people off the street, which isn't how you meet people in real life. So, you know, whether it's family members, friends from school, people that they meet online. I've got the Crystal Ball mod now for romantic relationships, and I'll consider that a form of online dating. I'm hoping that means that their relationships make a bit more sense and they're less, well, random, because it's just grabbing people off the streets. So he's meeting this person online, and that is fine. Even though that bit is still technically a little bit random. That's okay, because I guess sometimes relationships you make online are pretty random. Right, so it's getting a bit late, so we're going to have Darren stop painting for a bit and come and make some food for him and Dirk, and then we will keep painting until he goes to bed, basically. See how much we can get done today. Just going to make some mac and cheese, because it's the only thing he can make. Brilliant creativity skill, terrible everything else skills. I don't know how he got anywhere in the business career. Alright, Darren has finished before Dirk's even come to sit down, because Dirk's busy with his homework, so Dirk will eat alone. But let's go and knock out some more of this painting. Alrighty, so it's getting late. Darren is making good progress, but his needs are all getting a bit low, so we're going to send him and Dirk to bed and continue with this in the morning. Alright, it is the next day. Darren and Dirk have just woken up. I'm going to have Darren come and do a quick little bit more painting if he can. His needs are all getting a little bit low, but we'll get them some food shortly. His social needs probably going to be the biggest issue. I don't really want to take a break to talk to Dirk, but we might have to. But we'll see if we can get away without first. Ideally, I don't want to have to talk to him until the bills are paid. Well, Darren's too hungry to do anything, so maybe we'll have breakfast and maybe we can talk to him a little bit then. That can be the day's allocation of socialisation. Alright, breakfast is served. So let's have Dirk come and sit down and hopefully help Darren's socialisation a little bit. Because after breakfast, you need to get back and paint, Darren. Get that painting finished. Oh, they're having a conversation about Dirk's mum and how much Darren loved her. That's so sweet. Maybe Dirk's a little bit worried because he's noticed how much his dad likes Cassandra Goth. So he's just reassuring him that he very much loved his mum too, and now he's out because he doesn't actually want to get into this conversation too much. Dirk's still going, are you sure you don't love Cassandra? Bye, Dirk. I'm going to go do some painting now. Alright, so it looks like we've got another batch of bills coming, but Darren is almost done with this painting, so hopefully we'll be able to afford them all. Oh, and we're done. So let's go ahead and sell that and come down and collect the bills. That one's gone for $93, so we should be able to afford everything. Grab those bills, grab these bills. Don't know why you didn't grab the bills upstairs before you came down, but who am I to question things? Get your steps in, why not? Right, so those bills are paid. And we are done with this household. They've only got 100 simoleons left, and Darren's not doing too great in the hunger or the hygiene department, but we'll fix that next time we're here. We've got one last household to visit today, and that is the Pleasant household. So, on the surface, Daniel and Mary Sue Pleasant seem to have the perfect life, but is their love a flimsy facade? And can Angela and Lilith make the right choices when it comes to love? So, in this household, we have a very pleasant and perfect middle-class family. We have Mary Sue and Daniel, the parents, and their twins Lilith and Angela. So Daniel here is the main star of the scripted events, so he's a romance sim, and while he is married to Mary Sue, they're not in love or have a crush on each other even. They get on well, but that's about it. And he's in love with the maid Kaylin, who we obviously met with Don. He's basically a bit of a scumbag. We don't love Daniel. His bio says, since his father Jeff died without achieving his dream of going to Mars, Daniel has felt an overwhelming guilt. His wife, Mary Sue, is a fortune sim and a bit of a workaholic. It's sort of the stereotype, this family, of the woman working too much and not paying her husband enough attention, and so he goes off with somebody else. She's in the politics career as an intern. Active and friendly, Mary Sue believes people are inherently good. She enjoys pottery, or used to when she had the time. So she's basically keeping this family afloat, and well, despite being a workaholic, actually Daniel earns quite a bit more than her, because he works in the athletic career as an assistant coach. So there is that, but she's obviously wanting to prove herself and wanting to, you know, get promoted up that career ladder. So the twins, we have Angela, who I believe is the oldest twin. I think a lot of people believe that. The twins have this good twin, bad twin thing going on, so they are actually quite similar people. They're both popularity sims. Angela, we obviously met already with the Brokes. She is dating Dustin. It says Angela is patient and dutiful. She dreams of being a fishing boat captain, which is a bit random but cute. She's a B student, so she's, you know, quite intelligent. She's quite book smart. And the story is basically that Mary Sue and Daniel doted on her, although she doesn't have a brilliant relationship with either of them either, but they doted on her and gave her all the love. She was the favourite twin, the golden child, whereas Lilith here was very much the scapegoat. She does not have good relationships with anybody in her family, but she is dating Dirk Dreamer, who we've obviously just met. It says Lilith had it harder than her twin sister, so she says, which, you know, just isn't fair. And I think it's quite a popular opinion that this is a golden child and scapegoat dynamic, and that both Angela and Lilith are victims, although I also think a lot of people dislike Angela. I don't know what it would have been intended as at the time of Sims 2 coming out, whether Lilith was meant to be the villain, I don't know. I think Angela and Lilith are both troubled in their own ways. I just think Lilith rebels and Angela fawns over people and maybe doesn't really have a strong sense of doing what she wants to do. I mean, maybe that's why she wants to be a fishing boat captain. Maybe deep down she does have this want to be the captain of something, because she certainly isn't the captain of her own life. So the scripted event for this household starts by saying, who says good help is hard to find? Daniel has his eye on the maid and wants a little romance, but will his decision threaten family unity? So I'm just going to go ahead and let them play for now. These two are going to come and fight, they usually do, and these two are doing something romantic, put a little bit of spark back in their relationship. And now they've got a crush back on each other. That always seems to happen. It's obviously scripted, but I don't know why, because, you know, the whole point is obviously that they're not getting on that well, but maybe they do still have feelings for each other after all. Not these two. I'd like to turn the telly on and try and drown them out. Anyway, shortly, the twins and Mary Sue will head off to school and work. After these two have fought. Daniel not bothered, and Daniel has a day off work, so he's home alone today. And while Daniel just takes a little bath, it is probably about time for the maid to arrive. So Kaylin has come to clean the house alone with Daniel, although I don't suppose there's very much to clean at the moment. Yeah, literally nothing. So she wants to hang out, so we're gonna say yes to that. So what we're gonna do is have them relax on the bed, and let's invite Kaylin to join us. Now, I'm not actually gonna do anything with these two just yet, because the whole point of this is there's more to come for the scripted event in terms of when they should do the deed, as I'm sure many of you are aware already. And what I mean by that is this. So we've got a work chance card for Mary Sue. It says that the controller has a stack of paperwork on his desk that Mary Sue has been asked to read through and assign priority levels to the tasks. About halfway through the stack, she finds some speeches that the controller has been asked to edit. Mary Sue has an okay eye for syntax, and she knows how busy the controller is, so she could try editing them herself or scan the speeches into her word processor and run the grammar check on them. So I think she's going to edit them herself, because I think she really wants to prove herself, go above and beyond to show how dedicated she is to this job. Mary Sue carefully reads through the speeches and finds a few typos as well as some really awkward syntax. She dutifully marks the errors and suggests the proper changes before returning the speeches to a relatively uncluttered section of the controller's desk, along with a sticky note that says done. The entire process has taken her almost 2 hours, and when the controller returns, Mary Sue's barely started on prioritising the stack of paperwork. The controller chastises her and makes it clear that he needs an intern that will do what she's told first and then spend whatever free time she has being industrious. Mary Sue is sent back to work on the campaign phones. So Mary Sue is on her way home early. She's now a campaign worker, the opposite direction to which she wants to go. So usually I would have these two get down to it now. However, the twins aren't home yet, and I've never seen their reactions to it, so I'm kind of curious to see what happens if they also come home. It's a little bit awkward because that's a little over an hour away, and clearly if Mary Sue was actually home for an hour, I'm sure Daniel and Kaylin would hear her, but let's suspend our disbelief for a second. We'll leave these two on the bed until the twins come home at 1 o'clock. I mean, it's especially not going to help if she just walks in on them. They definitely can't say that they didn't know she was home when they've just seen her walk in and she's waved at them. She just walked in, seen this and gone, oh hey guys, how's it going? Maybe she's incredibly trusting. I don't know. Clearly doesn't know her husband at all. And while we're waiting for the twins to come home, a pop-up has just appeared saying it's fundraiser time at school again, isn't it always? And Angela has taken it upon herself to do something special. She borrows the family's top secret cookie recipe and her cooking is a smash. Angela earns so much money that the school rewards her with a 100 simoleon check. Typical Angela, being perfect. Everybody loves her. Charitable and a great cook, yes we know. Can't do anything wrong. Alright, so it's 1 o'clock, so the twins should be home any second. So I'm going to go ahead and do it now. First of all, I'm going to make Kaylin selectable, so there is a chance of a risky woohoo pregnancy. Last time I had an Uberhood, she did get pregnant from this. And so far, pretty much everything has happened the exact same as last time. If she gets pregnant again, then I don't know what I'm going to do, because that'll just be a bit bonkers. But we will see.
Ah!
Yeah.
And Angela brought Dustin home from school, it looks like, but more importantly, she's come to Daniel's bedside to celebrate her good grades. Perhaps not the best idea right now. Little busy, Angela. No way. No way. I can't believe that. No way. She's pregnant again. I swear down, the scripted events usually, whilst they are scripted so they do follow something of the same trajectory, it has happened differently for me before. I've had times where the Calientes have got pregnant, or Kaylin hasn't, or Cassandra and Dawn have got married. How has this happened exactly the same as last time? I was here going, you know what, it's fine if you restart your Uberhood because things will go differently this time. Well, not in this episode. How has that happened? That's insane. It's destiny. We've got these alternate universes, and in both of them, Kaylin has managed to get knocked up by Daniel Pleasant. I can't believe it. That's wow. What luck, Kaylin. So where the Caliente sisters have managed to dodge a bullet more than once, Kaylin has got hit by that bullet more than once. Damn. I'm so sorry, Kaylin. Well, I guess let's let them get out of bed and face the music. Mary Sue can't actually get to slap Daniel because Angela's in the way. And interestingly, I don't know if she didn't notice or if she just doesn't care, but Lilith has not reacted at all. I wonder if it's because, like, Angela, obviously, being the golden child, while she doesn't get on with her parents super close or anything, you know, she sort of feels like this family is functional. She feels like her parents are in a loving relationship and everything. So to her, this is a massive, massive betrayal and a massive shock. Whereas to Lilith, she's probably like, yeah, this family's fucked up. I knew that. What's new? Everybody knew Dad was sleeping with the maid. How did you two not know? I get the feeling she's a lot more cynical, so she probably isn't surprised by this so much. And to be honest, she doesn't like either of her parents anyway. You know, maybe she's also of the opinion that actually maybe her dad took advantage of Kaylin because ultimately Kaylin is employed by her dad. So maybe she's also, that's why she's not mad at Kaylin. I know from a game mechanic point of view, it's probably just because she hasn't seen it, but regardless, maybe she's like, you know what, Kaylin might actually be the victim in all of this because mum's a bitch and dad's a twat and Angela's a bitch and I don't really care. So yeah, I'm going to make Kaylin unselectable. However, what I am going to do is I'm going to move her in because I want to play with her. Obviously, play through this pregnancy and child. I swear down, she's going to have, I'm calling it now, she's going to have a little blonde girl and it's going to be the exact same as last time. I may or may not decide to give her a different name. Okay, then please at least surprise us by having a boy. Oh, or even twins. You could surprise us by having twins. Actually, I'm going to roll right now. So I'm going to decide multiples instead of letting the game decide because I feel like the odds are a bit too high in the game. I'm going to roll a random number generator. I'm going to do a 1% chance of triplets. So I'll roll 1 to 100. 1 will be triplets and a 5% chance of twins. So 1 will be triplets and 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 will be twins. And then everything from 7 to 100 will be singles. So most babies will be singles, but just a rare chance of twins and triplets. As she is pregnant, and obviously in real life, multiples will be decided more or less at conception. I'm going to roll to see how many babies it's going to be. Okay, so I must have got under Kaylin's skin when I was talking so much about this being exactly the same as my last Uberhood, because it's twins. She's having twins. I rolled the random number generator. I got 6 out of 100. That's at the very end of twins, because 7 would have been a single baby, but 6 is twins. So Daniel Pleasant, despite him having no part in the odds of multiple pregnancies, he's managed to get 2 different women pregnant and they both had twins. He's going to have 2 sets of twins. Kaylin is going to be a single mother. I'm going to move her in next to Brandy Broke in that little area of town. She's going to be a single mother to twins in quite a small house. So you know what? Fair play, Kaylin. You might have a little blonde girl, but she will not be the only one. I can't believe it. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and move her in. And then we're going to go ahead and move her out so that she can move into her own place. Oh, I'm just going to go take it out on Lilith. You know what? If they're going to be dysfunctional, they might as well be consistent. So we'll move Kaylin out on her own because I don't know yet if Mary Sue and Daniel will fix their relationship or not. And off she goes. So I'm going to leave the Pleasants here, sort their money out and Kaylin's money out because she needs 20 grand to buy a house with. I'm not going to make her adhere to the rule of splitting household funds because she is a brand new household. She's not going to just live off the Pleasants' money because she's got no family connection to them. And then we'll go and move her into her place. Alrighty, so I've moved Kaylin in, given her a bit of a makeover. I've left her with nearly 2,000 because while I will eventually get her a job, when she's raising twins alone, I don't know that that's going to be possible. So she'll probably have to live off of this for a while and 2 grand isn't going to get her very far. So she's living in this house. She's next door to Brandy Broke over there. It's not super furnished and I understand that it's probably supposed to be a 1-bed house with, you know, this being a living room or maybe even this being a living room. But as she family, again, is having twins. This will have to become their bedroom at some point. So I've got the living room and study area like in the hall. So it's all kind of bunched up, and it'll only get more bunched up when the kids arrive. But it'll do, and it's enough for now. I am excited to come back and play Kaylin's round for real, but also a little bit terrified because twins are hard enough, let alone when you're doing it alone. But I'm sure she's up to the challenge. She is a family sim after all. So on that note, I think I'm going to leave this episode here. We've played through all the scripted events. I know that a lot of people already are familiar with the scripted events, but I feel like when starting a new Uberhood, it's important to play them anyway because of things like this, basically. Because of things like accidental pregnancies and whatnot. But we've done with them now. So next episode, we'll be heading over to the university, Sim State University. The next 3 episodes, actually, I'm going to try and do bumper episodes of all the university students. So next episode will be Sim State. We're going to visit all of the households, every single one, I think there's 6 of them, and play them through their university years. Now I have no idea how long that episode will be. I have no idea how interesting it will be either, but we'll give it a go. We'll see what happens and see how those guys get through uni life. So if you were here, thank you for watching. I genuinely appreciate it so much, especially if you've been here before. I know I've done scripted event episodes before, but I'm going to try and make this the last one. I'm really going to do my best to stick with this Uberhood for a long time now, and hopefully I will see you soon.